Stardate 56193. With the successful negotiations with the Vrokala Republic on a trade negotiation with them coming to an end, Admiral Nea, along with Captain Prax and Captain Keller, meet with the Vrokala Prime Minister Koru'la and the Finance Minister Ansur to finalize the agreement on Deep Space 17. Celebrations on the station are to be held after the signing in the terrestrial enclosure later that evening. And with that, with the negotiations coming in, we're going to start the scene off. And the terrestrial closer, cannot talk now. With the four of you kind of sitting around a table at one of the diners, and a lot of other, there's a crowd in here. Everyone's kind of mingling and talking among themselves after the signing of the trade negotiation with the Vrokala Republic.
Great. Well, to start things off with the bang, Reef will start to yawn and then catch himself and kind of have his eyes dart back and forth, hoping no one noticed.
Kind of free role play for you guys. It's been probably about a month since you were at that forgotten colony site that the station orbits.
Well, it's been a month. I haven't seen any more ghosts.
No, we haven't seen any more ghosts.
Well, looking around the table, I'll stifle another yawn and say, "So, how's everybody's day?"
Been super exciting watching paint dry. I mean, diplomatic negotiations.
Well, you've seen one, you've kind of seen them all.
So
Sadly,
I think I figured out most of the Vogel for whatever they are as ambassadors tells. I wonder if I can teach them how to play poker later.
uh, raising up the eyebrow, Arif will put on a slight grin and say, "Well, maybe you could let me know what they are and let me sit in on that game too."
Well, that would cut into my profits.
But it would cut out of any chance of you getting in trouble.
Why would I get in trouble there? That's how the game is played. Study players, you learn hotels.
Well, that's certainly a fair point. And I
Not like
must say,
again.
I'm sorry, say again.
It's not like I'm counting cards again.
Ay, ay, ay. That's quite frankly a shame. You know, as you know, we don't get paid very much. I'm just looking for my piece too.
You guys are getting paid?
I do it because I enjoy it. I like helping people. Did you play any part, Arif, in the negotiations at all? I haven't really heard the scuttlebutt about what happened. So.
Not too
What
much.
really happened? You have probably more context than I do. What really happened between them?
Well, I'd say the captain definitely took the leading role in the negotiations stock. I mostly took the rear issues dealing with the other main assistants, and um, mostly logistical help. Unfortunately, that didn't give me too much time to sit in on the actual negotiations.
So you don't? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes, Doc,
Okay.
it is.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean,
I
not
wish
everybody
it
knows
was.
everything, That's why there's infinite diversity, isn't it?
Well, that is just what makes the group so important.
So, Lieutenant Vogel, Doctor, how are you? How are you settling in now that you've been assigned to Deep Space Nine 17?
Officially, I kind of miss space, so I'm kind of looking forward to when we get our new ship to go explore a little bit. There's always something interesting out there.
This station is in space, Doc. We're not planet bound.
True. I probably should practice my 0G. That's quite a different experience. You don't.
Indeed, Doc. And I'm thinking up some ideas to keep you busy in the near future.
Oh, sure. I
Station
always have
is a
my
lot.
projects.
Station is a lot bigger than my last posting. I'm still getting lost from time to time.
Helps to keep a map on your tricorder.
Yeah, but you don't want to be walking around with your tricorder all the time. I mean, yeah, gotta get used to it,
Walking with a tricorder out is how I normally walk.
Well, for you, Vogel, it wouldn't be out of sorts, but
Let me just think. Yeah, we got civilian shops. We got restaurants. We got the Arboretum.
the Arboretum.
Doesn't get any better than this.
I'm not complaining about the amenities here.
It's big. Space is big. It's just, it's a good thing.
You won't believe how mind-numbingly big it is.
No, you're probably right. But yeah, I understand.
I've always been curious. I wonder how a Klingon Ferengi fusion restaurant will go over. I mean, Ferengi grub worms, Klingons eat ga. It's close, right?
Right.
Depending on
It's
who
actually
you
pretty
had for
good.
your survival training, you could have been eating bugs anyway.
Yeah, I haven't done any of that living off the land junk since Starfleet Academy. I didn't enjoy that at all. I mean, a lot of fun. Someone can pick you up, drops you off in the middle of nowhere. Says, "Hey, go from point A to point B," and oh, by the way, we're not going to give you a map. What is that?
Training. In case you do find yourself there. Heaven forbid. We've been on some harsh worlds, and Earth has been the one that I really enjoyed. I only got to visit it that like 2 times. Once when I was a kid. But the Volgals were kind enough to keep me for a few days. Montana, right?
Yes. It's been a while since I was able to make it home, though.
Oh, yeah, we should make a point of it next time we're that direction. Mega's out that way, too. I wouldn't mind seeing the old colony again. I think there's a couple of people from the old neighborhood still around. Anyway, that's nostalgia. Here we are. Let's make our own memories here. Here we are with our friends. Starbase 17 it is. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad to be with you all. It'd be weird not to see your faces every day. At least not in Medbay. I mean, that would be really weird, but
Well, I, for one, think the two of you will make a fine addition to the station crew.
thanks.
Any
Well,
word
listen,
on what we're supposed to be doing after the peace conferences? Or after the trade talks?
I don't know. I mean, we haven't had much chance to look around since the station got moved. And when all this diplomatic junk is done, we can stretch our space legs like the doctor wants to and have a look around the neighborhood.
I'll admit I'm itching to get back into controls of a ship again, even if it is a runabout.
Hey, why not? Oh, the planet below is still pretty interesting. I'm sure there'll still be years trying to figure out what happened with the ship that crashed that used to be on. I'm sure that's probably already past some of the initial investigations, but not that it matters, I guess, these days.
Well, the ability to have a place for some of the crew to get off the station, get some shore leave will be good for their mental health. I mean, yeah.
I couldn't agree more, Counselor.
Captain.
Perhaps you should arrange something.
Captain, stand up.
Oh, at ease.
Curse.
Commander Arif, I'm going to be escorting the Prime Minister around the station. I haven't had a chance to really had a tour yet, and I figured these old space legs could use a little exercise. Hold down the fort for me if you don't mind.
Would you mind if I tagged along, Captain? I need to stretch my legs a little bit anyway.
It's the same boring, monotonous tour, Doctor, but you are welcome to join.
Thank you. It's not always the same thing, depending on who is walking with you. Shall we? Gents, I'm gonna go steal the starbase. Perhaps there's a little nook and cranny I haven't checked out yet. Ambassador?
She's the prime minister, not an ambassador.
Prime Minister? Prime Minister? Sorry, I don't know the correct title sometimes.
This is just to get them off screen. Just FYI.
It's okay, I'll do that briefly and come back. Yes, yep.
The doctor leaves with Captain Keller and the prime minister to give a very long tour of the station. What are the three of you doing?
I send a message on my thing. Send a message in 10 minutes, and if you don't hear back from me, please. I send that to Bogle, Sarah.
Do what now?
In about 10 minutes, have a message. Send a message to me, so that I can have an excuse to leave the tour. I just sent it to Lauren. Yeah.
Well, I guess if this little shindig is breaking up, then sure Bally's going to go up to our version of the promenade and go back, start talking to shop owners, go back to work on. So I remember correctly, before the time jump, he was working on building a coalition among the shop owners and whatnot.
That's in the terrestrial enclosure, which is where you're currently at. You're in one of those establishments. But as you start to, get up to kind of as things start breaking up, and all of you, including Doctor, as you're walking and helping the captain, getting a side tour as the Captain Keller is explaining things, all of you begin to feel a little bit lightheaded. Unsure if it's the synthahol that you've been drinking, but usually synthahol doesn't cause these side effects.
What did they put in these drinks?
I swear I didn't sneak real alcohol into the synthahol again.
Again?
Captain told me to stop doing it.
I hear you. Oh, I'm not there. Is there any way I can get some information from the Prime Minister and the Captain as we're walking, just as a part of the conversation of how the negotiations went and what the status of the station is? Just get basic layout of what's going on around here.
The negotiations were successful, so there is a official trade agreement between the Federation and the Vrokala Republic.
So what are some of the terms you can speak of?
It's just basic trade. So the allowance of civilian crafts to, embark on trade initiatives freely between, the two.
So we'll expect several merchant ships from your planet or your system?
It should embark several vessels from either front here at Deep Space 17. Things are about to get a lot busier here. Doctor?
Indeed. That would be great. I was wondering if you would speak with your chief medical officer of your government. I'd like to at least get a rundown if we are going to be receiving many more merchants, and I'll be here on Starbase 17. I would like to perhaps begin the speaking of exchanging of medical information, relevant, not specific, of course, to the new visitors that may be arriving soon. You said quite busy, so yeah, more people. Good to know about.
I will have medical, biological, or biology information forward not only to you but to Starfleet to be distributed out among your people in case one of mine is injured.
Excellent. I look forward to that information. Pardon my curiosity. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate your straightforwardness.
As your sort of lightheadedness starts to continue, you start getting a little bit of headache, and then you slowly start remembering things that never transpired.
I'll do a self-diagnostic.
Okay.
Using a medical recorder, of course.
Nothing is physically wrong with you, Doctor, just FYI.
Good to know. Curious. All right.
Keller kind of looks at you. Doctor, are you feeling all right, Doctor?
I just felt dizzy for a moment there. Perhaps we can speak later before you leave, Prime Minister. Captain, I'm sure I'll speak with you again soon.
Of course. Take care of yourself, Doctor.
Thank you. I'm going to head back to Medbay for a moment. Good day. Enjoy your tour.
What about the rest of you, as you're starting to remember things from the alternate timeline? As things become extremely confusing for you.
Just gonna kind of rub the bridge of my nose and kind of just mutter, "Chief?" while looking at Garibaldi confusedly.
So it's not just me, huh?
I wouldn't seem so. Looking at Vogel, just kind of look inquisitively.
I'll turn to Garibaldi. Didn't I pick you up in Australia in a shuttle?
Yep. Right before we all went to Paris. Except that didn't happen, right?
I've never been to Paris.
Maybe,
Maybe we
Dr.
should.
Chu Reef.
Go ahead, Doctor.
I assume something similar is happening to you. I'll be there in a moment.
Paris, Doctor?
Yes.
Well,
Paris.
Why
No.
don't
Aren't you heading to... Okay, hold up. Doctor, aren't you heading to sickbay? While this is all going on?
I had to make an excuse to get away from the captain. I'm having memories from the alternate timeline. You gotta...
Okay, you're kind of currently not with them. You're in a corridor heading back because you got fairly
Yep,
far on the tour.
I'll wait my time. Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna look around the room and also put 2 and 2 together, considering I'm talking through a communicator, and I'll say, where do you happen to be, Doc? Sick bay?
I'm in a corridor. I was on tour, like you probably know. So I'll be there in a little bit. Uh, tell me where you're gonna be, and I'll meet you there. I'm not physically ill, just FYI. So.
That's good, but this might not be the best place to discuss it.
Exactly. Just tell me where to meet you. I'll see you in a little while.
Sick bay sounds like a good idea, I'm gonna say, looking at Garibaldi and Vogel and kind of nursing my head a little bit.
Vogel,
Yes.
this is up to you if you want to make this or not, but I will tell you. You suddenly remember your father's funeral and everything that happens. Do you can try to control your emotions, or you just let them seep out?
Oh, they're seeping out.
Okay.
I'll accept the complication.
There's no complication. It's just that you just start crying on control. You just start crying, and as you're remembering your father's passing, even though you know he's alive, you visually remember his funeral and everything in Montana.
I gotta call home. My dad.
Lieutenant, are you okay?
The sick bay. Let's get her there. Then we can let you call him. Let's simply not be here.
Let's go. Let's go back to my office in sick bay, more private.
And
Nodding.
Vogel will nod, tears streaming down her cheeks.
You heard the man, Doctor. I'll say into the communicator. Head to Garibaldi's office.
Understood.
All of you leave the celebration as everyone's kind of, and are you trying to like shelter, keep, the crew seeing Vogel in her current state, or?
I don't
Garibaldi.
think it's the worst idea in the world. I'm confused.
Garibaldi's kind of positioning himself where people can't see or pester her.
Give me
Yes, I'll double up on that with him.
you can assist, but one person leads, one person assists. Control con difficulty 2.
Control a con. That's a whole world of challenge for Garibaldi. Yeah.
That or can no, I can see presence con as well for this, so
That makes it a lot better for me.
Well, I get a 12. Are you helping or are you rolling?
I've got a 13, but it was your idea, so I don't mind assisting.
All right. Well, then I'm just gonna roll it flat.
Could I use team dynamics for a focus?
an increased complication.
Let's go for it. 2?
You're rolling 1. One person's, yeah.
Well, I meant complication 2.
Yeah, complication range 2. You guys get it, and you shield Vogel, keeping everyone, it's like Garibaldi kind of shouts out, "Oh, someone spiked the punch."
Yeah, let everyone think I'm a drunk. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, not by choice.
Again.
I'll spend a threat for that complication. Yeah, and you eventually meet the doctor at Garibaldi's office.
It takes a little longer to get there. Garibaldi almost accidentally takes them to security based on the old memories, and he goes, oh, wait a minute, counseling office.
Oh, thanks, Chief, Counselor.
Wait, weren't you a security guy?
Weren't you a doctor?
Yes.
I think he was always a doctor.
Once a doctor, always a doctor.
But I got this ghost of a memory of Tuzat getting killed and me taking over as the security chief.
Have you spoken with Tuzat recently?
I remember that too.
What if he has a memory of himself then? That could be kind of traumatic, Counselor, potentially.
Perhaps one trauma at a time, I'll say, looking at Vogel.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Oh, I had said perhaps one trauma at a time, indicating to the doctors by looking at Vogel.
Are you all right?
I need to call home.
We can do that for sure. You can we get your use your desk, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, how about there you go. I'll sit up.
And yeah, she's going to frantically try to call her parents' house.
One second, sorry. Apologies. You dial home, and on the view screen appears your mother. Sarah, this is unexpected, and she kind of visibly looks like you're upset. Is everything all right?
Mrs. Vogel, it's Dr. Martin.
Doc, why don't you give her some room?
Oh, sure.
Mom, I'm sorry. I should be home.
Does something happen out there?
It's Dad, Mom.
Your father, he's fine. He's out with your uncle. They're currently in the barn.
And Vogel's going to visibly look confused. He's fine.
Yes, he's been doing great since his surgery.
Oh, I forgot what he had.
I had to pull it up.
I thought he wasn't able to get the surgery.
Dr. Mountain performed it. Are you feeling okay? You know, you're more than welcome to come home if you have some shore leave time. We'd love to have you, home. It's been almost a year.
Just can I see Dad, please?
I put a bag of
Yeah, I'll go holler for him. Just hang on. And she walks away for, a few moments. I did not write it down. It's funny for your nose. After several minutes, your mother kind of you hear in the background noise the shuffling and
He had like a rare heart condition.
yeah, something like that. It
A
was
syndrome. The syndrome, a rare syndrome.
Yeah, it was a reverse syndrome. I know that.
Inoperable, yeah. Inoperable
in-
syndrome.
Yeah, I think it's in my log somewhere.
He comes on and Sarah, it's a pleasant. Your mother asked me to talk with you. Is everything all right?
And Vogel will look like visibly relieved. Oh, yes, Dad. I'm just a little homesick, I suppose.
I think next shore leave you get, you need a bit of Montana fresh air.
Still taking care of my horse?
Indeed I am, but she's getting a little old.
I'll try to swing by when I can. I just got this new posting and all.
Well, don't be a stranger, and if you ever need to talk, we're here. Don't plan on going anywhere just yet.
Love you, Dad.
I love you too, sweetheart.
And I'll close the comm.
All right.
What's going on? I distinctly remember my father dying.
I distinctly remember saving him, so something's not quite right. But I do have memories of other things, other events, like we said, Paris. What must be some time shenanigans or alternate dimensions, or who knows what's going on. Isn't there a check you could do, Sarah, to science it, figure it out?
What are we looking for? I don't understand what's happening.
It's not physiological. I haven't found anything wrong with my body, but I am fatigued and my brain hurts from all the new memories because they don't jive right for some reason. Counselor, what do you think?
I'm still trying to process, Doctor. It's
Damn.
like we've got several months worth of extra memories, not just things from Starfleet Academy that I remember that didn't happen, but other things like massive attack on the station.
Oh yeah.
And XO, do you remember giving me command of a spaceship?
That seems strange.
No kidding.
Yeah, mass hallucination. We got to start with the known and then go with the fantastical as we eliminate the options. So let's do a scan. Maybe we can go to med bay once we have our conversation about this and give ourselves a checkup. Make sure everybody's who they're supposed to be, as it were. But maybe we can do some brain scans, or counselor, is there some way to do some sort of mind association, thought association? Perhaps Vulcan might have some knowledge of this type of stuff. But
I think mostly, unless you want to do some specialized scans, Doc, most of the equipment we got, most of the equipment you need here in my office. I think
let's start with these ones and go from there.
if we're, I don't know. I mean, I'm not that kind of scientist. Temporal mechanics is definitely not my field of study, but it feels like we lived through something. That some fairly bad things. It's almost as if time diverged at a point.
I suppose I could always scan to see if there's some anomaly around the station. Either stellar anomaly or maybe some time anomaly.
Well, let's yeah, if we do that, let's Doc, let's maybe let's find out if there's new memory anagrams in our heads. See if we can determine if they're implants or natural. Something about implanted memories is ringing a bell. Well, it seems like a place to start. We'll start on the physical science, and the doctor can work on the medical stuff.
It's as good a plan as we have. It just doesn't seem possible.
Are all four of you going, or to sick bay? Are you diverting somewhere? Are you diverting to ops?
Well, I mean, we're all kind of adjacent to sick bay if we're in Garibaldi's counseling office.
And I could probably divert sensors to one of these consoles.
It would be an override task.
That's fine.
But yeah. So yeah, all of you make it to sick bay. Who's getting their brain scanned?
Let's start with
first.
these strange members seem to be so if I might suggest, these unusual memories seem to be affecting Lieutenant Vogel worse than the rest of us. Maybe we should start with her.
I agree, but if it's gonna trigger anything or release even more somehow, I would prefer not to put her under the additional strain or risk.
Well, the scans are harmless, Commander.
Well, let's have the doctor weigh in when he gets back, but I still would rather not put either of you through any procedure before I do it myself.
Well, it's not really routine, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. Here, hop on that bed there, and so
I will do so.
one next to it's yours, Vogel.
I'll take a single.
Plus, if I can get the lieutenant here cleared, then she can get to work on the other scans.
Reason plus medicine, difficulty 1, assisted by the station's sensors plus medicine.
I heard something plus medicine. Say control.
Reason plus medicine.
It's a difficulty 1. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I don't have a focus, so I'll just roll flat.
Station assists with sensors plus medicine.
Sensors, medicine, and there we go.
Gain of momentum. Actually, you gain 2 because you have advanced sensors for the station. So 2 momentum generated. You conduct a brain scan. You don't find any new memories. However, on closer inspection, you realize some of her several memory engrams were suppressed. It seems the whatever suppression technique that we used has come undone.
Can I spend one of those momentum on obtain information to learn more about that, or would that be another roll?
What are you wanting to know about it?
Maybe the nature of how the memories were suppressed.
It is a typical Starfleet medical technique. With a slight variation to it, like it was meant to be unsuppressed at a certain time.
Huh. Almost like a time release capsule.
You mean someone did this to us?
Yes. And they use Starfleet techniques to do it. Mostly. Hey, Doc Mount, you getting the same readings off of Commander Arif? Oh, Brett wandered off.
Well, Doc seems to be a little confused himself, Chief Counselor. Why don't you give it a shot?
It's the same.
Do I need to make another roll, or?
No. You know what you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Since the doc's confused, do I find the same things in Dr. Mountain?
Yes.
Well, as you say, it seems to be in the process of unwriting itself or unblocking itself. I guess the best thing we can do is simply give it a little bit more time and see what unfolds.
All of you clearly remember that you volunteered to have your memory suppressed.
Oh, I guess soon enough we'll find out what was so important that we volunteered. If anyone else remembers that, I remember doing it willingly.
You guys remember everything that happened, from the previous, sessions.
So we did it to protect the timeline.
Oh,
That us from several months from now, after months of war and dealing with I forgot the name of the people we were fighting against. We've been doing all the time stuff.
The Jinkari. And actually, the study remember is roughly around the same time as it is today. That when you fought them at the station.
So,
but the station wasn't in this pouch of space within that
what?
memory.
You remember the Jinkari station was in orbit around Vrokala Prime, who you just signed the trade agreement with. Yeah, it's not in this sector. It's actually several sectors away.
Well, I for one seem to think that we're headed towards a better outcome. It's always nice to find affirmation that you're going to make the right decision. Wouldn't you say that, Chief? Or should I say Counselor or Chief?
Well, confused myself, but I guess right now my official designation is station counselor. Since you have a security chief. I mean, I seem to remember we defeated the Jinkari in the past. They attempted to wipe out the Federation with a time bomb, and we stopped them. And then had our memory suppressed so that we couldn't alter the timeline between then and now. That
Probably
sound like
why.
what you remember?
Yeah.
Starting to seem familiar.
Operations to Commander Arif.
Go for a reef.
Commander, the USS Anaros is requesting docking. They request your presence at the airlock.
Understood. I'll be there shortly and allow them confirmation.
They're also requesting a security team.
Well, that's never fun. Please contact Chief Tizot for me and have him send a team down there too. Meet me down there.
Understood. Operations out.
Nodding to the trio, I will say, if you three will excuse me, it seems we're about to have a hostile guest. Hey, so just real quick, out of character, the confusion that I'm in, is it, I guess, muddling me?
Yeah, it's more like everything's becoming. You're trying to make sense of everything. The memories that are suffering, that they're from another timeline that you experienced. That's, when things went differently, than what the current timeline you're in.
Fair enough. About halfway out of sickbay, I'll turn back around and say, "Hey, Doc, either of you, do you think a stimulant might help clear my thoughts a little bit? I have work to do."
No, I think you're just gonna need time.
Bummer. I will, on the way out, replicate myself a mug of coffee and head towards the docking bay. Docking bay.
Rest of you staying in sickbay?
Yeah, for the moment, yes. I think I'm the only one actually on at the moment of the others. Yeah, Garibaldi does want to run the scans on himself and the quick symbiote.
It's the same as before. Your symbiote did not have any extra memories though.
That's what he was verifying.
Yeah. You clearly remember that when you got those memories, you were not joined. Are you wishing to do an anomaly scan, Vogel, still, or?
Well, after this new information, no. Well, you know what? I'm gonna do it just for the scientist in me because he still could be a trick. So I'll run a quick one.
Reason science difficulty 0, assisted by the station sensor science. Ooh. Station rolled a comp. Gain 3.
It's not like. Yeah, I'll use two of the ones I gained.
So you gain 1 momentum. Squash it. Other than 3 Federation vessels that currently are 2 are docked. One's about to initiating docking procedures, and what you clearly recognize. One part of your brain's telling you that it's a Vrokala ship. Another part of your brain's like, that's a Jakari cruiser that is currently docked at the station.
The Jakari cruiser.
Is the commander still in here?
I think he walked away from sick bay.
Yeah, I'm heading to the docking bay.
But no anomalies.
What's a Jakari ship doing here?
More importantly, even though we stopped them in the past, is there anything to prevent them from trying again?
Vogel to Commander Arif.
Go for a reef.
Sir, I detected a Vrokala ship docked at the station.
Do I know why it's there?
It was in the log I posted, but
Yes. Okay, it's that ship. Yeah, we've been under negotiations.
That vessel's been docked with you for a week.
What about the
There's-
Jikari ship?
Counselor, I don't believe circumstances will be the same this time around. That is what you're worried about, correct?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the Jikari were convinced the Federation was a threat. Has anything changed just because we stopped their attempt to destroy us in the past?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but we did not get to these talks in yet.
Talks never happened.
Yeah. So, counselor, there's already been a change. We're already living in it, and if we made the right choice, we have to believe in that, especially if we willingly gave up our memories. Maybe it might not be the worst idea to be a little bit more alert, but
Right yard. So, well, I heard you were in a hurry.
well, the ship is docking momentarily, and I was asked to attend.
Yes, sir. Garibaldi does the cut the feed signal at Vogel.
I close it.
Think you can scan that Jikari ship without them knowing?
What are you looking for?
So you got at least if we've gotten all of our memories back, you still remember the signature of that time bomb, right?
Yeah, I think so. Still trying to get a grip of these two sets.
Yeah. I imagine it is a little confusing. I think I'm used to having a bunch of memories that aren't mine in my head. I imagine that it's a little disconcerting for others. Of course, they're usually not my memories that I'm dealing with, but six in one hand, half dozen in the other, I guess.
I'm not detecting anything out of the ordinary there.
All right. Well, do you remember what set the Jinkari off?
Vogel just shake her head. No.
You do remember one of them pushing you off a cliff, though.
But I do remember getting injured by one.
Well,
And then she looks up with realization. That bastard pushed me off a cliff.
almost as bad as getting shot in the back by one of your own crew. Twice.
Huh? What? You got shot?
Twice. I think we should keep an eye on these Jinkari fellas just in case.
Agreed. I'll set the computers to keep an active scan on them. If their ship so much as moves a millimeter, we'll know about it.
You know, it just occurred to me. If we follow regulations, we're gonna have to report all this to the Department of Temporal Investigations, aren't we?
Didn't we do that?
Did we?
I thought so.
We were going to, I believe, but we never actually did. I think it ended up.
You did. You guys.
Oh.
You guys did. It just was never played.
Oh.
Oh, then we should probably be expecting a visit from them at some point. Huh. There's something to look forward to. Those guys are weird.
Have you dealt with them before?
But apparently we talked to them before we had our memory suppressed.
Before that?
Not me. Quix has talked to them before. It was a long time ago.
Scene change, and I'm gonna cut over to a reef. Arif, you walk down the corridor towards the airlock where they're docking. After waiting patiently, you hear the subtle sound of the hissing noise as the docking bay doors open up and steps onto the corridor at the airlock. Is two security teams. A woman dressed in, essentially Department of Temporal Affairs, investigation, sorry. And then there's also what appears to be behind them 5 rather large boxes behind them.
Arching my eyebrow, Riley, I'll say, and me here with no presents for you.
Commander Reef, she kind of looks at you for a second. I am Commander Beckett.
Well met. May I ask what's in those boxes before they go further into my station?
Yes. Tell me, do you know who I am?
I do.
Then the suppression has already started to unravel.
It has.
Good. These are the cryopods of the 5 Jinkari agents that were captured 9 years ago. They are to be handed over back to the Vrokala to stand trial. I am to meet with one of their liaisons.
Understood. As you can see, I have a security team assembled to escort you.
Excellent.
How have you been?
I have been fine.
Excellent.
Yourself.
Well, at the moment I have a doozy of a headache, but decent enough until that.
Your symptoms should subside within a few days.
Well, that is good, but unfortunate. Will you want me to sit in on the handing over, or are you good from here?
You are more than welcome to assist me on the matter, if you would like.
I'd like to. It's been a while. Be nice to work together again.
Of course.
Gentlemen, I'm going to say, looking at the security team, and does she have people to assist with the boxes?
Yeah.
Very well. I suppose I'll have them simply form around the boxes more than her and have them trail us as I lead her to her destination.
We are heading to the Vrokala vessel, where we are to meet with the representative.
Nodding, I'll say, understood. Should the other three happen to be here as well, should I ask for their presence?
Their presence is not needed, but if they wish to be here to see for the transfer, they are welcome to. They were all, after all, part of this endeavor.
Agreed. I think closure is certainly important, and I'll tap my communicator and hail Vogel Mountain and Garibaldi at the same time. And they'll
Group
just...
chat. Hello.
Hey, Doc.
Hi, Commander.
Listen, if the three of you could meet me down in the docking ring by the Vrokala vessel, that would be supreme. I believe you'll appreciate it, and it might put some of your worries to rest.
I'll be there in a moment.
The three of you eventually meet up with Arif. You're not at the docking ring just yet, but yeah. You see 5 large crates, several security officers guarding the crates, along with Arif and someone you have some vague familiarity with.
Seeing them, I'm gonna say, gentlemen, milady, if you'll notice, this is the culmination of a deal we made quite some time ago.
Oh, it's like Paris all over again.
Well, what's in the crates?
The bodies, well, the frozen bodies of the Jinkari we agreed to turn off.
Okay.
It is part of the agreement to end the conflict.
so the Jinkari know about their attempt to manipulate the timeline.
Yes.
Can I look at the status of the people in here?
For your safety, Doctor, you're not authorized, but I assure you they're perfectly fine and healthy.
I understand your assurances, but you're not a medical doctor.
I don't think that'll be necessary, Doctor.
Let me know when you have any other crates of bodies kept passing through the start piece, and or just don't tell me about it at all. Maybe that would be for the best. You can smuggle whoever you want through here, I guess. All right, carry
Well,
on.
We'll try not to make it a random occurrence.
I'm gonna
Often.
have it. You can see my reservations, can't you, Commander?
I can, but this is also a deal that you made and agreed to, and
I'm not worried about their destination. Just want to make sure that they are properly cared for along the way.
well, then how about this? When we hand them over, we will make a show of making sure that you need to examine them to verify their authenticity,
It
and that they're still
doesn't have to be a
amenable.
show. It is my duty.
Are we?
Yes.
Are you accusing ATI of something untoward, Doctor?
Not at all. I just want
Are
to
you accusing
do
DT?
my duty when anybody comes aboard the station as a medical professional. They happen to be in a situation which is unique amongst the 5 here in these crates and the rest of us standing around talking about it. I just wanted to confirm that everything was okay. I can take your assurance and go be enough with that, but I would prefer any future bodies or people coming through here I at least have a chance to examine or speak with. Especially,
They are
anyway,
perfectly suspended in animation, Doctor.
I'm sure that you're technologically correct. Anyway,
Well then, Arif will say to the, at this point, large group of people, shall we continue? Doctor, your objections have certainly been noted.
thank you.
As the 4 of you, along, escorting Commander Beckett to the other side of the essentially docking ring, near the Vrokala ship, you see Admiral Nea, Captain Prax, along with the Vrokala or Jinkari in this case, nearby, and just before you arrive, Captain Prax just starts walking and walks past all of you.
Captain,
Just kind of ignores you guys.
I just nod. It's like she doesn't even remember us. I mean,
Well, she'll be on the station for a bit, as I understand it, and we still have a schedule to keep. So let's handle this first, and then let's worry about that.
Admiral Nea sees your Commander Reef. Commander Beckett, Dr. Mountain, Lieutenant Garibaldi, and Lieutenant Garibaldi Quicks, and Lieutenant Saravoga. Was not expecting all of you, but
Just wanted to see this through, Admiral. A long time in the making.
Yes. I was informed of this by the DTI, a little short while ago. But, Admiral, Vemul, I received a copy of the non-aggression pack. Appears everything is in order. And it appears the transfer of 5 prisoners to be handed over to you. Thank you, Admiral Nea. And Beckett kind of approaches and hands the Admiral Vemul a pad.
I suppose that's all I could do when you were calling.
And the Starfleet security officers, they escort the 5 crates, or essentially cryopods, over towards the airlock for the Jinkari, and they take them into their ship.
Out of curiosity, Admiral, are we allowed to know what the fate of these prisoners will be?
Do we even know the identity of these prisoners?
Former Minister Shoha will stand trial for his crimes. Multiple counts of genocide, 12 counts of murder, attempted murder of Prime Minister Koru'la, and numerous other political figures, as well as kidnapping charges.
No jaywalking?
His crimes are not petty, but are you sure he'll be able to stand trial, or will he make it all the way to your world? It might be those who want to see them dead before they see trial.
You let us handle that. I assure you he will stand trial.
Just make sure the evidence is solid enough that he gets convicted.
Believe me, there is plenty of evidence.
I mean, having to save the Federation from utter destruction once is enough for a lifetime, I think. I mean, let's be honest, my name ain't Kirk.
It almost rhymes, though.
Well, if you excuse me, I need to make sure these pods get to their proper destination on the ship and security in place. It was nice seeing all of you again.
And you.
And you.
Admiral Nea just kind of sighs and kind of looks at Beckett. She, just walks off.
Issues with the Admiral?
The Admiral voiced her opinion on the matter, but I had to tell her that the agreement was made 9 years ago and nothing could change.
Well, that seems quite unfortunate for the Admiral, doesn't it?
It has led to this peaceful outcome, though.
Much better than what happened.
Indeed.
That was close there for a minute or two. But these people, do they still have the technology to do that again?
The non-aggression pact, along with the treaty, was that they dismantle all of their temporal weapons. We have been working towards that for the past 9 years. Unfortunately, it was done in secret, but it was to ensure the safety of the Federation.
Well, I understand that.
The timeline resume on its normal course.
It must have been nice not having to forget everything.
My price was to join the DTI, Lieutenant.
Yeah, how's that going? I heard that's a weird place to work.
It is.
Are you enjoying it at all?
Considering my primary mission is over with, I am unsure as what the DTI have in store for me yet.
I can tell that you're synthetic, because I would have said from time to time, but the irony and pun would be lost on you.
It is not, Doctor, but I have endeavored to become more human. Perhaps in time I will develop more human behaviors.
I see, you're starting to get the hang of it.
Hey now.
Look at that. She's got bad jokes down like the Earthers do.
Not all humans are Earthers, but I understand what you mean.
Surprised Vogel didn't want to deck Vamul for.
Oh, she's stewing over it.
Yeah, got your tongue, Sarah?
That person that was with the Admiral. That's who pushed me off that cliff.
Really? Oh. Wow. How was that? You have quite restraint about you. That's the one that you said to push you off? Wow.
Excuse me for a moment. And Vogel's going to walk out of the roof.
To where?
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I keep an eye out, but I won't do anything to stop her.
Like so, is that it?
I think so.
Timeline restored?
Well, timeline has been restored for quite a while, but yes, everything should be, well, not as it were.
As it should be? I mean, who's to say?
As it should have been.
Might well have been.
It depends on your point of view.
Well, part of me believes both of them were true.
No, I guess it depends on what you believe about temporal mechanics, I guess, Doc.
I know it's not to be trifled with, I'll tell you that much.
I mean, perhaps somewhere there's an alternate universe where all those things actually happened, which would be kind of depressing because that'd be an alternate universe where there's no more Federation.
Oh,
Yeah, let's not think of such things. Might bring him about.
and you would not exist.
And on that cheerful note,
Well, yeah, we went through all that, save the very existence of Federation. We didn't even get a medal. That seems wrong. So,
I don't think so. Fact of the matter is, we get to remember the event and we get to go back, and tonight we get to go to sleep knowing that pretty much everyone in the Federation that's breathing easily right now is doing so because of us. 4 of us.
yeah, I got to live. We got to live through the last 9 years twice. Let's not do that again.
Well, who knows what life's gonna have in store for us, Chief? I can't promise that.
it would be quite an interesting Groundhog Day type thing. Kept repeating it. Maybe you get better off the next time, too.
And to be honest, Doctor, we could have been repeating this over and over again for many, many cycles and not know about it.
Maybe we are already doing it again. Even though it's already solved.
Considering the situation is resolved, I would think that if there was indeed a time loop, it has ended.
Well, one can only hope, and we can only go to bed looking for the next tomorrow, so I suppose we'll find out soon enough. But only time will tell.
Surely. Well, at any rate, it feels weird to be the counselor again. Still.
You were the security chief, weren't you? Was there a draw to that when you were younger? Maybe there's still part of that in you.
I have some experience, but most of those experiences I can't tell you about.
If you told me, you'd probably have to kill me.
No, I'd have to
I've heard that cliche before.
I'd have to have your memory suppressed. Or have I already done that? I can't remember.
I don't remember either. One way or the other. Don't ask me.
I do.
Where are you off to next, then, Megan? Or
Back
should I say, when?
Well, when is now and tomorrow.
True. It's another day.
Heading back to Earth, if you must know.
Oh, interesting. I hope you have a good time. You should check out Montana. It's a nice place.
I'm sure it is. Gentlemen, I will bid you farewell. Hopefully we do not cross paths again.
Well, considering who you work for now, yeah, I'm hoping that.
Nice
No,
to see you too.
Just under better circumstances.
There you go. Good answer. Always a diplomat.
Take care, gentlemen, and happy trails.
And you.
Meanwhile, Vogel, the individual you wish to confront is on board the Jinkari ship.
Boo?
There is a guard at the airlock.
She will just walk up to him, I guess.
Apologies. This area is currently off limits. Unless you have authorization from Admiral Vamul.
Actually, your admiral is who I would actually like to speak with.
Understood. You will need to go through the proper diplomatic proceedings. And he looks visibly nervous because, like, this is new to him.
Listen, can you just give him a message?
Yes, I can do that.
Just tell him Cyril Vogel remembers. He should know what that means.
If you wish to create an advantage, something can happen right now.
Yes.
There'd be 2 momentum.
Oh, we got it. I'll do it.
Just as you give him that, an individual steps out. Lieutenant Vogel, right?
Yes. I take it you remember?
I'm sorry, remember what?
Or did that not happen yet?
The gargoyle. She wanted me to inform you, sir, that Sarah, or she remembers. Yeah, I got that. You're due for a shift change. Go. Yes, sir. Apologies, Lieutenant Vogel, but I don't remember what you're talking. I don't know what you're talking about.
It must be very convenient for you.
Could you enlighten me of something I may have done?
See, from what I remember you pushing me off a cliff, nearly to my death.
Huh. Yeah, I don't recall doing that. Apologies if I did. I may have had a good reason at the time, I think. At least you survived, obviously, and do remember. Did I die?
Hard to say. I never saw you after that.
Obviously that was probably me from other timeline that probably had reasons to correct things. Judging by my calculations, this is the better outcome for our 2 peoples. So I might have had good reasons to push you off. Were we being chased?
I think so. I remember we remember being shot at.
Well, obviously, I did the math and made sure that you would, at least be all right. And was the sure way to get to this outcome.
Why me? Why approach me with all this?
I apparently had my reasons at the time. I couldn't tell you for that what that would be now because circumstances are vastly different.
Must be very convenient for you.
Well, hardly. What I make it up to you? You can. Obviously, I caused you some trauma and pain. You can hit me.
What?
I deeply hurt you somehow, and been told humans like physical contact to relieve stress at times. Is that wrong?
Yes. I don't want to hit you. I just want answers.
Unfortunately, answers I do not have, and such is the nature of temporal manipulation at times.
I was hoping this meeting would be more fruitful than it is.
Well, since I'm going to have to be dealing with your people a lot more, perhaps you could educate me. Care for a midnight snack you're in the terrestrial enclosure, I think.
Maybe I'll take you up on that one day, but today's not that day. Good night, Admiral.
Good night, Lieutenant Vogel.
And she'll just turn off and walk slowly back the way she came.
All right. Anything else you guys wish to do now that your memories have returned?
Dwell on them.
Garibaldi's applying for a transfer.
Remembering the situation, if that in any way, shape, or form crosses my desk, I will approve it if I'm able, and highly recommend it if I am not.
I believe that goes through a certain chain of command. That's more outside of your department.
Fair enough. Well, if I see it, I'll tag along the recommendation.
Yeah, they're kind of weird because they're part of Starfleet, but they're not.
That's Section 31. That's not Starfleet intelligence.
Well, they even describe, like in the operations book, they describe Starfleet intelligence as being different.
They are. It's. I'll explain after in the game. But there is one more thing I'd like to do if you guys don't have any other more roleplay you wish to do.
I mean, to be honest, at this point, I'm just trying to really piece together everything and have it make sense.
Maybe we could have sort of like a brainstorming session, sort of like a ready room kind of thing, and have all the data put together, all the stuff that we remember, and try to maybe have a summary.
Um,
Well, the four of us have a shared experience. We should all go to dinner together.
We're making a habit.
I'm
Weekly
okay.
meal. And poker game.
No poker with Mr. Garibaldi unless I'm on his team.
There's no teams in poker. Now, bridge, that's a different matter.
Yes, I was about to say.
Sarah, how's your bridge game?
Oh, after that meeting, Vogel probably went to a holodeck.
Oh, this is like a different time.
Oh.
Like
Where?
we're doing like a weekly dinner kind of thing. I'm just trying to round out what we all know and making a regular habit of hanging out during the
Gotcha.
week.
What was the inquiry?
And frankly, I don't recall anymore.
Well, Vogel goes off to play by herself. Garibaldi will at least meet with Arif privately to, after everything they've been together, Garibaldi would tell Arif, at least tell Arif personally that he's applying for the transfer.
Well, that's not going to take you off the station, is it, Chief?
Well, it depends on what they have me doing. I can't go. I can't be a covert officer anymore. But yeah, I don't. I don't know. After everything that happened, I don't feel. I don't really feel comfortable as a counselor anymore. And you've already got a security chief.
Oh, I understand that. Why don't. But you don't necessarily. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you don't necessarily have to join Starfleet intelligence. We could shift you over to the security team, and if if the information I have is correct, I don't believe our current security chief Tuzot is going to be here very much longer. And if I remember correctly, you made one hell of an interim chief of security, and
And plus, he
we
likes
have a
calling
whole.
you chief.
That's fair too, but um, we have a whole unexplored wing of the galaxy, and I'm gonna need someone I trust.
Well, I appreciate that, Arif. I'll try to get posted back out here. I mean, I seem to remember enjoying intelligence work. And there's a lot of potential threats out here that we'll need to do information gathering on.
Well, that's certainly fair. Plus, you know the crew quite well, and you know the station quite well. It would certainly be a boon for SI to assign you here.
And who's going to beat us at poker if you're not around?
Oh, there's always leave trips, Doc.
That's true.
But
I've got at least enough time around you to learn your tells.
You have a whole extra 9 years. I mean, you have a whole extra 9 years.
Mhm. You know, the biggest shame of it all is Feel bad for you guys that the Tenchi's still lost.
I have a feeling it was going to be lost either way.
Well, perhaps. Never know what the future holds, gentlemen. After all, we've just been through an experience that perhaps someone else will go through an experience and the Tenchi won't be. And we can hopefully find comfort in that.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be back. Something tells me I'll be back this way before too long.
Well, I wish you
Indeed,
well.
and quite frankly, if your heart's set on it, I can do nothing but um, accept it and wish you well as well. And if there's anything I can do, or if you need a recommendation or anything of the sort, I've been in Starfleet, quite frankly, long enough to know a couple admirals by now, so feel free and I will help in any way I can.
I appreciate that. Probably gonna need a good letter of recommendation in the app in the file.
Of course, they couldn't have a better candidate.
Well, I didn't leave under the best of circumstances last time.
Hmm. Well,
Maybe for me is the
perhaps
chance to correct a black mark on my record. You know what I mean, sir?
I get that, and just think, maybe they'll send you back here as punishment. We are in the middle of nowhere.
That would be fitting.
Oh, if you do end up getting posted somewhere else, perhaps I'll get to hear that story about that black mark. Sounds, quite frankly, pretty interesting.
Ah, sure, it'll get declassified eventually.
Oh, what's a little classification between friends, Chief? After all, we've been through time together. But we'll double cross that bridge a different day.
Well, going through time together is better than doing time together.
Hey, as I just told the doctor over here, you never know what life it has in store. We might get that chance yet. Hell, maybe one day I'll even tell you about my brush with the Maquis.
Those are some interesting folks. We'll have to trade stories.
Indeed.
Far, far, far away from any Federation listening devices.
Oh, Reef will definitely laugh at that one and say, yeah, I can attest to that. But at least, hopefully, I would think that on this station I control most of them.
Well, who knows what'll happen? Maybe we'll all get promoted.
Well, if it comes, it comes. As I believe I told you in a speech quite some time ago, there's no rush for it.
Oh, sure, no rush if you live for centuries.
I'm gonna pointedly look at Garibaldi's abdomen. I
Hey,
guess that's true.
only half of me lives for centuries.
Not if what I understand about trails are correct. Shouldn't your memories continue as long as And I'll kind of trail off.
As long as there's a quicks to remember.
Well, we've been around for a while.
And maybe even longer.
Then enjoy.
I will say, until that transfer comes in, I want to see the two of you and Vogel in my office at least once a week.
What?
The four of us have been through something interestingly traumatic. One of the advantages of being a Trill is I am used to having memories that are not mine in my head.
Battery's gonna get a little bit of a faraway look in his eyes. Then returning to normal, he'll say, me too, Chief. So if you ever need to talk about it, I'm certainly available.
Not only this way, you write that letter of recommendation well enough, we won't have to put up with the weekly counseling sessions. At least not from me.
Well, I look forward to them. As I said, your company is always quite enjoyable. But I'll still write you a good recommendation.
And then we'll share a drink and Garibaldi will take all their money.
And hopefully give half back of Arif's and 10% of everyone else's.
All right, we are going to transition to the next morning as everyone has been asked to to be on ops during the morning alpha shift. Standing just outside the window to the station commander's office, Admiral Nea and Captain Keller stand there, and Admiral Nea kind of speaks up. Can I have everyone's attention here? I am delighted with the current successful negotiations with the Vrokala Republic and the actions of Captain Keller, both present and in the past. Hereby promote Captain Keller to Rear Admiral Felix Keller, who will now be taking up posting here on the station as the new strategic commander of this sector. And
Congratulations.
she lets out a applause.
Hey, that's great.
Lieutenant Commander Reef, could you come here for a moment?
Looking at her questioningly,
That'd be Keller, kind of. Keller, yeah, speaks.
Yep. Sorry, looking at him questioningly, I'll come up. Yes, sir.
And he kind of looks at you. I know it was the sun to spring this on you, but how would you like to be the commanding officer of the station?
Keeping myself completely straight faced, I'll look at him and cock my head slightly and just simply ask, well, sir, does it come with the office included?
Unfortunately, yes, but mine's somewhere else.
Then I must accept, and I'd like to thank you for entrusting me with this responsibility. I won't let you down, and I hope you won't be stationed too far away so I can continue to ponder the depths of your own experience and resourcefulness when it comes to running a station such as this.
Well, noted, Senate Commander. And on that note, I think you're overdue for a promotion.
Well, as I tell everyone else, sir, when it comes, and I'm not too worried about it. That being said, I do like the number 3, and I think it would look good on my collar.
Guys, and on that note, I will not be the only one receiving a promotion here today. Lieutenant Commander Arif, I hereby promote you to full commander. Congratulations, Commander Arif, as he hands you takes the little pip off, the third pip with the black, and then puts a full gold pip on your collar.
And nodding, still not completely straight faced, but not breaking into any sort of like overt display of happiness. I'll nod and I'll say thank you again, sir. This, quite frankly, has turned out to be quite the interesting morning.
Indeed it has. Commander, take good care of the station for me, will you?
I'll treat it as if it were my own, sir, but I think we'll both know that your presence will be here long after you depart.
I have no intention of leaving DS-17 just yet. In fact, I'm thinking of making my office here since I'm going to have to run everything for this sector.
Looking forlornly at the commander's office, I'm gonna look back at him and say, "You mean this one?"
Well, it'll be elsewhere on the station, hopefully with a view. Easy
Of
chuckles.
course, and let me tell you, as commander of this station, you may have the choice of any room you desire.
I appreciate that, Commander. Well, Commander Arif, I will leave you to your duties. I have many things to discuss with Admiral Nea, who sprung this on me last night.
Understood. I can relate to the feeling, sir.
And the two leave ops.
I guess I'll turn around to address the troops and just shrug a little bit and say, to me, I suppose, but there's no time for that. I'm looking at Garibaldi. I'll ask him just real quick. You sure about that?
Oh, yes. Black mark and all. But congratulations on that mountain of paperwork you just inherited, Commander.
Well, that's why we have assistants, Chief. That's, or should I say, no, I like Chief. Well then, and I'll look to everyone else and say, everyone, I'm sure that everything's gonna go along with as business as usual. I don't have any immediate plans of making any huge and sweeping changes as I've watched you all work for several months now, and I know you're all competent and wonderful at your jobs. And I hope that you'll all continue to serve alongside me as we all take our first step into this new territory and this new time. And the last part, I'll look at Vogel, Garibaldi, and the doctor.
A smile and nod.
Well, in which case, back to work, everyone. We still have a full day in front of us, and if anyone needs me, I will be in my office.
Any other additional roleplay you guys wish to do? If that is it, I believe we can call that the end of the session, unless you guys have anything else you want to do.
Nothing for me.
Not that I can think of offhand.
Got this. Austin, thank you.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Doctor? You cut out.
Sorry. All set. Maybe request shore leave to Earth at some point. Otherwise.
All right. Bring the session to a close as the adventures of Deep Space 17 will continue on.